Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. It is free to follow me. Free to follow me on this channel, Anonymous Tea. Free to follow me on my other channel, Anonymous Tea Podcast. There is new content over there. Follow me on the Tickety Talk at Anonymous Tea Podcast. Free to follow me on the Instagram. On the Instagram is at Anonymous Reality Tea. Free to share everywhere. Free to like the video so it gets out to the algorithm. Free to share with your family, your friends, and your foes, and coming or going, hit the like button. So today we are talking Love Island Games Season 2, Episode 3, and I enjoyed this episode. I feel like the episodes are getting better. Johnny be nimble, Johnny be quick, Johnny the daddy Sita, daddy's home, the real daddy is home of Love Island, y'all. like in case y'all didn't know. So we are right in it, you guys. We are in a continuation. We are in the thick of it all at the aftermath of the duel. And Lucinda is shook that, you know, she did all of that. She is at the docks with Tyrique, y'all. And she is so happy that she won. Tyrique is like, listen, looky here. We can be besties like we are in real life, but technically we are a couple. Technically we are going to share this bed together, but it's on you if you want to do something more than that. And Lucinda's like, well, you know, my heart still, you know, I still kind of am feeling Mert or whatever else. Tyrique, one thing Tyrique's going to do is he's going to test the waters with anybody that he's attracted to, just to put that feeler out there, right? However, I think somebody coming in that we'll get to at the end here is going to shake things up and might be a problem for Lucinda. Also, y'all, we have Josh and Andrea. Now, I talked a little bit about this in my first look reaction video because they included it in the preview clip where they're in soul ties. They have a celebration kiss. They're talking about how they're the power couple, how they're the most liked. And again, we'll have to see how liked you really are. Because I don't think Josh is faring well with the public. I feel that there are more Charlie fans and Kendall fans than Josh fans, which is crazy. Which is crazy to say. And I don't think Ariana's feeling Josh. Because she was calling him out, remember, in the first episode about poor sportsmanship and everything else. I don't think production likes Josh. But we'll see how this goes with him and Andrea. Again, I want these couples to realize until we see y'all in a couples competition, like just lay low. Just lay low and try to strategize, try to make alliances with some of these other people and everything else. Work on your social game, right? So then we have Tyrique and Adrina. And, you know, before that, Adrina and Charlie have a debrief. And Adrina says that she's embarrassed. And listen, look at here. I'm not going to hold you, Adrina. You should be embarrassed. You should be embarrassed. That was an epic fail of a display. That was an epic fail. That was an epic disaster. That was the wrong road. That was the wrong road that you went down. It looked like you never worked out a day in your life. It looked like you had zero strength, zero willpower, zero endurance. Meanwhile, she spots Tyrique and Lucinda on the dock shore, and she feels a certain type of way. Like, look, they're hugging. Oh my gosh, they're hugging. And I'm like, reel it in. Reel it in. What is going on with Adrina? I thought when she came out the villa, there was going to be, you know, all these big time, you know, heavy hitters, multi-millionaires, and everything else in her DMs. No, not quite, right? Because we'd already know Tyrique and allegedly Josh, but we haven't seen much of interactions between Adrina and Josh or whatever else. However, you guys, then Tyrique and Adrina have a conversation. And she's crying because she's worried about how her performance is going to be off-putting towards Tyrique. And it did. It did. Tyrique sees you as a liability. He's moving on. He's already plotting. He's crying. He's like, oh, you're too pretty to cry, and wiping away her tears and all of this and all of that, y'all. Then they kiss, y'all. But why, when he's hugging Adrina, He looks at the camera the same diabolical way that he looked at Ella in season 10. No. Then, you guys, we are seeing no interaction of Chris and KK. And it's like Chris really is just tunnel vision on the $250K that he's not going to see no matter what. So none of the less, you know, he decides he's going to tap out early. The guys are trying to talk to him and he's like, I need my beauty sleep. I need to get ready for competition tomorrow. Dude, you don't know the schedule. You don't know the schedule. You don't know when y'all going to be playing anything. And I think Chris is doing himself a disservice by not working on his social game with the other Islanders and not working on his connection with KK. Because if it comes down to a situation where there has to be the Islander save you type of vote, he is going to be on the outside looking in because people are going to feel as though they haven't seen much of his connection with KK. He's not really initiating anything. He's just here for the money so he can go. And he's not thinking about that. But nonetheless, while Chris is allegedly sleeping, y'all, while the lights are still on and everybody's still talking in the bedroom, here is Tyrique and KK in the bathroom. And they're flirting up a storm, and Tyrique says, I'm going to explore. I'm telling y'all, Tyrique is everything y'all think Ace is, right? And said that he's going to explore and everything else. He's going to keep his option open and all this and all that. Next thing you know, him and KK are kissing, y'all. Him and KK are kissing, y'all. And he's like, you're about to get me in trouble and this and that. But I think Tyrique, he's wedging his bets. He is planning his escape from Adrina. He is, right? Whether it's going to be KK or somebody else, he's planning his escape. He knows that he has a safety plan right now, being in a couple with Lucinda, right? So that is on that. So everybody goes to bed. Oh, before that, we get a Garby and Kendall sighting, y'all. We get a Garby and Kendall sighting. First, they talk in the speakeasy, and the doors are closed. And I don't know if it's real or fake that Kendall is into Garby, but I think Garby actually is into Kendall, which is very concerning. But nonetheless, they go to the photo booth and have a very steamy makeout session, y'all. And I was a little bit confused. I was confused myself, but some people are moving for it. I'm not moving for it because I still think Kendall is full of it. But none of the less, you know, that happened. And she's geeked about it. Garby's telling all the girls that she and Kendall, you know, had this makeout session. She's showing the photo booth pictures and she is ecstatic, y'all. But I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go. But anyways, we get to bedtime. Nobody's doing anything in the bed other than Kendall and Garby are making out, right? So in the middle of the night, there is a text message that Charlie receives that him and Adrina are going to be having some R&R. And they are going to be leaving the villa. So he wakes up Adrina and they leave the villa and they go to their little field trip, right? So while that's happening, everybody gets up for breakfast. They know that nobody's there. Here goes Tyrique. Well, I'm glad that Adrina's gone because I don't got to make nobody breakfast. So even though he's in a couple with Lucinda, who's allegedly supposed to be his bestie in real life, nobody's getting breakfast. I'll let the rest of y'all handle it, right? Because I'm just here for that $250K and I'm here to make it through the entire 3 weeks of this show. So nonetheless, we have Mert, who is on oatmeal duty, right? And he decides he's going to make oatmeal for all of the ladies, and Tyrique helps him to pass out the bowls, y'all. Why did Sloane get the bowl of oatmeal? And she said, yuck. She said, ew. She stuck her tongue out like, this is nasty. Now, did it need some sugar? Did it need some Splenda? Did it need some sweet and low? Like, did it need some cinnamon in there? Did it need some milk in there? Did it need some fruits in there? Like, what was it missing, Sloane? That oatmeal was just not oatmealing for you. I just needed to know, right? So then Kendall is telling the guys, because I guess Josh was like, yeah, I heard some sheets moving last night, da-da-da-da-da. And it's really him with the audacity with how him and Shannon were moving season 3. Y'all stuff was so X-rated that it had to be on Paramount Plus, and it couldn't even air on CBS. So make it make sense. So nonetheless, Kendall said that him and Garby just had like a few smooches here and there. It wasn't nothing to be, escalating to something else. So then, you guys, we have KK and Chris working out together, and they're talking about how they're a strong couple and all of this and all of that. And I'm just not seeing it. And I don't know why KK's not seeing it. And then when KK walks away, Chris is trying to act like it's hard for him to hold on and everything else and not do anything intimate or physical with KK. And it's like, Chris, you're fooling nobody. You are fooling nobody because you want Nicola. You want Nicola, and you're going to show your behind by the end of the episode as such. So then we have a conversation, y'all, with Salone and Isaiah, and I got mad at production because I saw a conversation in the background with Garby and Tyrique. So they could be getting along, they could be besties, they could be having a whatever, but production, of course, does not show the black people unless the black people are being messy. So nonetheless, I do not know what was in the conversation between Garby and Tyrique. Nonetheless, Isaiah's trying to fill out Salone because I think he might be interested in her, because he basically told her flat out, listen, look here, me and Nicola, there's no romantic spark between us. There's nothing romantic here. It's just platonic. We're just a couple for now, but I'm trying to wait this out until I can get with somebody that I'm actually sexually attracted to, right? And so he's trying to fill out Salone, like who are you interested to? He's like, are you interested in me? Are you interested in Chris? Are you interested in Tyrique? She's not saying nothing. She's like, well, I just want to keep my cards to the chest. I don't want to let you know my secrets. And then in the beach hut confessional, she lets us know that she actually is into Isaiah. But she's not going to let Isaiah know and give him the upper hand. So he doesn't have to do anything. No. If you want me, you got to chase me. If you want me, you better come after me. And I like the energy that Salone is giving. Y'all, why did KK tell Andrea that she and Tyrique kiss? Like, this is what I'm saying, y'all. Y'all be thinking Team USA and all this other foolishness. Y'all be thinking that y'all friends and y'all cool like that and everything else. No. KK, this is not your bestie Destiny from season 5, y'all. Like, what are we talking about here? This is not your bestie from season 5 Destiny. So why are we telling Andrea any of this information? It is completely irrelevant. Even if she claims to be all in on Josh for right now, anybody can switch up at any point in time in this game, and that could be information that could be utilized against you later. Andrea can play run tell that and potentially, forge Chris and Nicola to hook up, or forge problems between you and Chris and everything else, because Chris is not going to go after Tyrique. He's going to take it out on you. So, nonetheless, that was that. So, we get off to the field trip that Chris and Andrea are at, right? And in comes the intro package for Justine and Johnny. And Justine's like, listen, look at here. I'm a season 2 winner. I'm a winner of Love Island Games season 1. I am here to wreak havoc and make it a 3-peat, y'all. I'm here to make it a 3-peat. I don't know what people were talking about on the internet, that potentially she was just back to host a challenge, or she was just back to coach some of the Islanders on what to do. No. She's here for this shmoney. She is here for $250K. So hopefully she can retire from reality TV. That's what that was about, you guys. I don't know what y'all were thinking, that this was just going to be a cameo appearance. No. Then we get Johnny's intro package, and he's like, listen, I might be the most villainous Love Islander with no neck in U.S. history, but I'm back because I am the forever runner-up. I am the runner-up of season 2. I lost to Justine and Caleb. Also, Caleb was the scammer. And then also, y'all, I was the runner-up season 1 of Love Island Games. I lost to Jack and Justine. So I am back to get that $250K. I'm back for this shmoney. So they have it to where they walk in together. However, Justine meets Charlie separately, right? So they meet separately and have a conversation. And then it was kind of awkward because Charlie was like, well, who are you? Who are you? And Justine's like, it's me. I'm Justine. I'm like, what? This is what I'm talking about. Like, what are we doing? How do you not know who Justine is? And then later on, he's going to be like, oh, you won the show. No. No, Charlie, already flag on the play. Already flag on the play. This is why I'm saying some of y'all fans, y'all be hyping up some of these Islanders that they need to come back. Y'all be giving petitions for these Islanders to come back, and it is nothing but a flop. So Charlie is explaining how he lost in the duel, how he came in with the Heartbreaker necklace. He is trying to get this Heartbreaker necklace removed. He is thinking that him and Justine can be a dynamic duo. He said that there's something else going on tonight or whatever else that is going to be the final chance that he can get rid of this Heartbreaker necklace around his neck and ensure his safety. Justine pretends to be shocked when he reveals that the prize package is $250,000. I don't buy it. I think Justine and Johnny have an appearance fee that they allegedly are going to get a certain amount to be on this show again. And I think that they are guaranteed finalists. It is what I think. It is what my speculation is, and if they don't win, they're definitely getting whatever that appearance fee is. I think they got paid some serious money to come back. Right? Because I think production is wanting to have as much drama as possible, as much chaos as possible, as much menacing as possible. And I wouldn't be surprised if they brought back Caleb. I'm going to keep telling you, I would not be surprised if they brought back Caleb, y'all. Because I feel like that's the type of time these producers are on this season. So then we get Johnny and Andrea. And this was an interesting conversation because it was Johnny be nimble, Johnny be quick. The hug looked very intimate. And Andrea is telling him how she completely bombed on the floor with the duel challenge. And also Lucinda said that she was about to give up and fall out. What are we doing? What are we doing? Do you know what show this is? It is Love Island Games, not Love Island All-Stars. No. Not the Love Island Casa Amor that Mert was on. No. This is Love Island Games. It is challenge-based. It is physical. It is mental. It is communication. It is teamwork. What is not computing? So Andrea, she is telling Johnny how she flopped, how she was a disaster in the duel, y'all. And so Johnny was like, that's all good. That's all great. She's telling him about the money or whatever. And, Johnny's thinking in the back of his mind, okay, good. This will be good for me and my daughter and everything else. But let's talk about us. And I said, let's talk about us. I said the only thing that really Andrea had mentioned episode 1 was that Josh, Johnny, and Tyrique were in her DMs. What am I missing from the story? Right? Well, what is the tea? So then Johnny was like, well, does everybody else know about our history, about what went down between us? And I'm like, what do you mean went down between us? Because the show just only ended a couple months ago that Andrea was on. So what has progressed in the past couple of months? And where's Jeremiah? Does Jeremiah know this information? While he's acting brokenhearted on the internet, does Jeremiah know? And she was like, no, I think they might have just known that you were in my DMs. I don't know. I don't even know if she even went that far. She was like, I don't think they really know our history or whatever else. And so he said, so they don't know that we kissed? And I said, oh, really? Oh, really? So this is what y'all thought when y'all saw Shelly and Ace, when y'all thought they were secretly married with kids. No. These Islanders will spill the tea right in front of you, y'all. So apparently they've kissed at least once outside of this show, outside of between the time that Andrea was, gone from Love Island season 7 till now, at some point, and it potentially could have been multiple times that her and Johnny have had something going on. And he asked her, has she kissed anybody since she's been in the villa? And she said she's kissed Tyrique and Isaiah. And he's like, do they kiss better than me? And she's like, well, I don't remember how we kiss, how you kiss. And he was like, what do you mean you don't remember? And she's like, well, are you going to kiss me now? Are you going to kiss me now and see what these lips taste like so I can remember? So then Johnny kisses Andrea again, y'all. Well, again for them, the first time for us seeing it on the television in 4K, y'all. And so they have this makeout session, and I'm not going to lie. I mean, listen, no neck Johnny be nimble, Johnny be quick. I mean, he was doing all of it, right? And so then he was like, so how was that? Do you remember? Am I better than Tyrique? Am I better than Isaiah? And she was like, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. And I was like, wow. I was like, Andrina, we need to talk about you, about your choices and your romantic interest in these men. Like, why are we falling over heels for the likes of Tyrique and Johnny, who are nothing but menaces and are just here to win the game, who are here to win the cash prize? Like, what do we got to do to convince you? So, nonetheless, everybody meets up, and the host is joking that it's like a swingers meetup, a swingers convention without the actual swinging. So Johnny and Andrina meet up with Justine and Charlie. They have pictures of all of the Islanders because they have to decide right then and there what couples they want to duel against. So what the setup is going to be is you have to duel against another couple, and whoever wins, somebody on that other couple has to get the heartbreak necklace. See, I feel like this kind of switched up because it kind of sounded like at first that whatever couple you chose, say that Adrena lost, and I thought that whoever, like, if she lost, she would keep the necklace, but if the other couple won, the girl in that couple would get the necklace. However, the rules apparently changed when we actually got to the competition, which we'll talk about here in a minute. So they're going over all the pros and cons of the couples and who they felt was more interested in who, and who had a stronger couple, who they felt was easier to beat, and all of this and all of that, y'all. So then we go back to the villa, and some people get some text messages. I got a text, and the text is, listen, look here. You know, as you can see, Charlie and Andrina are not here. They're not here, but they are with some bombshells. And a couple of y'all have been picked for this challenge tonight. And this is the last opportunity for them to get rid of this heartbreak necklace. So the first couple that finds out that, you know, the couples that they find out that they're going to duel against. So we find out that Justine and Charlie, y'all. Justine and Charlie have chosen to go to the battle with Nicola and Isaiah, you guys. So Nicola's like, bring it on, let's go. Let's freaking go. And then we get another text message. Garby and Kendall, winner, chicken dinner. You are going against Johnny and Andrina, you guys. So nonetheless, everybody's getting ready. So it sounds like the theme this season is like purple and yellow for these duels, for these competitions and everything else for now. So everybody's getting ready for the evening and getting their evening attire going on and everything else. Then here comes in Ariana, y'all. And she has this Love Island themed dress. It's like a Heartbreaker themed dress. And it says like, loves me not. It has Mamacita patch on the backside and all of this other stuff, y'all. And so she comes in. There's this whole Heartbreaker theme set up. I need somebody to run Dami and India from UK season 8 their coins. May the best Heartbreaker win, because they have like this whole Heartbreaker theme, right? And some of these producers, some of these executives are from ITV, which is originally from the UK show. You can't tell me this is not inspired at all from India and Dami, y'all. May the best Heartbreaker win, y'all. So it is a Heartbreaker themed challenge, right? So the Islanders do not know yet who the actual bombshells are. So there is this big dramatic entrance of Johnny, Justine, Charlie, and Andrina doing this whole circle around the entire villa to come down in this grand entrance show. And it was epic, because then eventually Ariana was like, I'm here to introduce you to season 1 winner of Love Island Games, Justine. I'm here to introduce you to season 1 runner-up of Love Island Games, Johnny. And Tyrique's face was not feeling this. He was not feeling this. He was not featuring this, right? So nonetheless, they have this obstacle of where it kind of reminds me of like EKGs, a little bit of like a heart. It's like a kind of like a zigzag competition where the couples have to hold a string on the other side of this hole, and they have to basically put this hole through a puzzle, but you can't touch the metal parts. And then there are a couple of safety pieces in between that you can have as like a break to where this buzzer won't go off, but it kind of goes off like a buzz, like an electricity, like a wave, like a shock wave, if it touches the metal part of this obstacle. So none of the less, first up, we have Justine and Charlie against Isaiah and Nicola. And I'm not going to keep it. I'm not going to hold y'all. It was looking rough for Isaiah and Nicola. They had terrible communication skills, zero patience on Isaiah's part in particular. And here is Tyrique in the background trying to tell Isaiah to calm it down, to talk to your partner, to talk to your couple. The audacity of it being Tyrique to say this is crazy. But none of the less, that is what happened there, right? And so Justine and Charlie, for a while, looked like they had this in the bag. But then as they got closer to the end is when their side started glitching, right? Because the whole time, for the most of the time, it was Isaiah and Nicola's side that kept glitching. But ultimately, you know, once Justine and Charlie started getting closer and closer to the end, their stuff kept glitching. And what happens is when you glitch, you have to go back to your last safety spot or whatever else. Or you have to start, and if you haven't gotten to the safety spot yet, you have to start completely over from the beginning. So somehow, Nicola and Isaiah, who had terrible communication skills, terrible teamwork, maybe all that glitching in the beginning, set something off, set something ablaze to where they were able to lock in and beat Justine and Charlie. So what does that mean? That means Charlie still has to wear the Heartbreaker necklace. That means Charlie potentially is at risk for being dumped tonight, y'all. So none of the less, you know, that didn't help the game. So as of now, Isaiah and Nicola get to stay together. Why did Chris run up there and hug Nicola like that was his couple? I'm gonna need KK to take off the blinders, right? So then you guys, we have the next round. We have the next round of Johnny and Adrina against Garby and Kendall, right? And so I'm thinking to myself, you know, Garby and Kendall, they got a strong connection. However, we haven't seen them compete together, right? But we know Garby is a beast. So it's their turn, right? Garby and Kendall, it was a flop. It was a disaster. It kept their obstacle course kept buzzing. The communication was not going well with them and everything else. But then Johnny and, you know, Adrina. Johnny, this is why he's back, you guys. Johnny is talking Adrina through it. He is talking Adrina through it. He has a calm approach. He's like, we're going to go slow. There's going to be tension here. There's going to be tension. Watch this bump. Watch this curb. Watch this. Everything else. Tension. Tension, Adrina. Just watch this right here, Adrina. Just watch this. Okay, just watch this. Okay, we're good right here. Okay, good job, Adrina. We're okay. We're Gucci right here, Adrina. Just tension here. Just slow and steady. Watch this. A little tension. A little tension. A little curveball. Watch this here, Adrina. Watch this. And I was like, I see exactly what is going on here. I see potentially, as bad as Adrina has been in the duel and the first challenge, that I see the potential here with how Johnny is going to work with Adrina. Now, the question is going to be how long he is going to work with Adrina. However, they were able to pull it out and win the challenge, y'all. So Adrina gets to give up her necklace, y'all. And I think some people were shook. And by people that were shook, I mean Tyrique. Because what happened was, Ariana asked Tyrique what his thoughts were, because, you know, that was your connection. That's who you've been kissing on and everything else. Why did Tyrique go full Tyrique and say, well, clearly she needs him. She needs him to win. So that's who she should stay with. What? This is who y'all thought Ace was. But Tyrique is going to be an a-hole and say whatever is on his mind. And so, you know, Adrina, she kind of feels a certain way. Like how can you say that? And everything else. And she's like, you know, you don't think I believe in myself? You don't think I want myself to win or anything like that? And Tyrique was like, I don't believe that you believe in yourself. So how can I believe in somebody who does not believe in their self? It is so hard to believe in someone that don't believe in their self. And I was like, oh, this is bones. This is over. This is donezo. And, you know, and then Johnny, he is right there, Johnny on the spot. He's like, listen, looky here. He's like, don't listen to none of that. Don't give any of that energy. I got you. We'll be Gucci. Everything else. You're with me now. You're with me. I was the runner-up. Don't listen to that nonsense over there, right? So now we got to get to the climax. The climax is the vote, y'all. Who is going to go home now? Because now that Adrena won, who is going to go home? Who is going to be the one that is going to get up out of here? Y'all, this is why Johnny's here, right? Because before I thought that since Adrena won, that the necklace would go to Garby. But they switched it up and said, no, it can go to either the male or the female in the couple that gets the heartbreak necklace and is at risk for getting dumped, y'all. So why was it that the necklace, the necklace, y'all, Johnny walked over and just put it around Kendall. And I think everybody was shook. Because I don't think people were expecting that. They were expecting it to be Garby, right? Because they were probably thinking from a strategic perspective, since she won and blew everybody out the water the first game, that, you know, she should be at risk and we can get her out because she doesn't have that many connections. Or so we thought, right? So then they have Charlie and Kendall stand at the Heartbreaker heart stand, y'all. And Ariana's like, okay, listen, looky here. I'm gonna need y'all, if you are, you know, we got to make a decision here. And whoever the Islander is you want to stay, you got to stand next to him. You got to put your vote on it. You got to put your stamp on it. And I'm like, why is this show so bleeping messy? Why is this show so bleeping messy, you guys? I'm like, there is just no chill. You got to say it with your chest. Now, do I secretly think that they might have revealed in advance to production who they potentially were going to vote out? I do, because it seemed a little bit too obvious with some of these votes on how this was going. So I'm looking at the situation, y'all. I'm seeing Tyrique. He is over there voting for Charlie to stay. And I found this interesting because he had a lot of good interactions with Kendall. So I thought he was going to go for Kendall. But maybe he's thinking UK connection, or maybe he and Charlie have a closer friendship than what we've seen between Tyrique and Kendall or whatever else. So he voted for him. I think Chris and Adrena had a season 7 loyalty for some reason to Charlie. And they were thinking, hey, we were on the same season, you know, let's vote together. But I didn't understand Adrena's vote for Charlie, because I'm like, I don't even think y'all interacted. Like, you came in after the fact. So none of the less, you know, I don't remember, you know, any of that with y'all. So that was interesting. Then Salone also voted for Charlie. But again, I think she's one of those ones to where she has no loyalty to anybody. She has no loyalty to anybody. She came in as a bombshell. She came in as a heartbreaker. So she doesn't have any loyalty to these other islanders. She doesn't know them like that yet. And so then also the other islander that was there that stood for Charlie was Justine. Because I figure, you know, that was the person she spent all day with. They were in a challenge together. She has no allegiance to anybody, y'all. Everybody else, y'all. Everybody else. And by everybody else, I mean Andrea chose Kendall. I mean, Nicola chose Kendall. I mean, Garby chose Kendall. Josh chose Kendall. Isaiah chose Kendall, y'all. Also, who am I missing? Josh chose Kendall. Johnny chose Kendall. Mert chose Kendall. KK chose Kendall, y'all. And also Lucinda chose Kendall. Now, I know Lucinda was not going to choose Charlie because when she made the comment the other day that all he did was run his mouth and he ran his mouth for the whole UK, that she was annoyed by him. But they all voted for, Kendall to stay. So I figured that, and part of that was probably due to his social game, was probably due to him always talking to the ladies, also due to his connection with Garby, because I think the girls like Garby, and everything else. And I think I don't know, I was kind of getting the vibe that it seemed like the earlier seasons of Men maybe prefer season 6 people to season 7, and we'll see how that plays out, because even KK came over and made it a point to hug Garby that I thought was very important. So we're going to see how this goes. And so then, Ariana lets Charlie know that he's dumped from the villa again, and he's got 30 minutes to go. Kendall's up here saying how he feels bad that his time was short in season 7. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And I'm going to need the internet, y'all. Charlie's Angels, the people who are upset about him leaving. No. Reel it in. Reel it the freak in, you guys. He is not made for the show. Y'all talking about y'all want him on season 8? I do not. Y'all talking about that this was an injustice and everything else? No. He lost in the duel and he lost in this competition to save himself. He had 2 opportunities to get that necklace up off of him and nothing happened, y'all. Like, what are we doing? And y'all keep forgetting in season 7 when he stood up there, I believe he came, was it him and Sierra or one of them, when they said to stand by the Islanders that you want to get to know, and nobody stood up for Charlie. Nobody was interested in Charlie. Like, do we have amnesia? This type of show is not the format for Charlie, but y'all keep hyping him up and making him believe that it is. And he's up here talking about some daddy's home. No, it's not. The real daddy's home is Johnny. Is Johnny on the spot? Is Daddy Sita Johnny? That is who is the daddy of the villa. That is the person that they decided to come back because some of y'all were not given what y'all needed to give. And that is it for the episode. Now, we get a preview for tomorrow night. But here's the thing. We're not getting actual previews of what's happening on the actual episode. We're getting preview of the next bombshell. And guess who the next bombshell is, y'all? Tyrique's best friend, Toby. Tyrique's best friend, Toby, also who was on season 1 of Love Island Games. And I feel like he might be interested in Lucinda and Andrea. I feel like that is going to be potentially who he is going to go after, y'all. Because I don't see him going after Justine, because he had a little thing with Sally and it didn't work out or whatever else. But he's not child, he's got a type. And the type is Andrea and Lucinda, right? I don't know about nobody else, right? I don't think he's going to go for anybody else. So we're going to see how this goes. Sorry for how long this was. The episode was like an hour and 10 minutes long or something crazy. But nonetheless, that was the episode. I'm curious to see who Justine is going to go after now because she's single. She doesn't have a couple. I wonder if it's going to be Tyrique, because Tyrique looked excited to see her. So potentially Tyrique. I feel like Chris might drop KK for Justine, though. I feel like since he's all about the competition and he's all about trying to win, that he might drop KK and be like, Justine already won the show. She already knows how the show works. I want this $250K. I feel like KK might be on the bubble here. And I feel like it is time for KK to either move on to Tyrique or move on to Isaiah, because I feel like she's in danger. So there is that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.